April is a month I eagerly anticipate in the gardening calendar. The days are lengthening, the soil is warming, and the garden is awakening from its winter slumber. This is the perfect time for pruning, as many plants are coming out of dormancy and bursting into new life. Pruning now encourages healthy, vigorous growth and helps plants heal quickly. In today's video, I'll guide you through the top 5 plants to prune in April for a truly blooming garden. Let's step outside and make the most of this magical moment in the garden together. Roses are, for many of us, the heart of the garden. Their presence is both regal and comforting, a symbol of beauty and resilience that has enchanted gardeners for centuries. Whether you grow them for their intoxicating fragrance, their vibrant colors, or simply for the joy of watching them unfurl each spring, roses truly earn their title as the queen of the garden. Their beauty and fragrance are unmatched, but they do demand a little attention as spring unfolds. Caring for roses is a ritual that connects us to the rhythms of the seasons, and with just a bit of effort now, you'll set the stage for months of spectacular blooms. April is the perfect time to prune, just after the harshest frosts have passed, and as buds begin to swell. This timing is crucial, as it allows the plant to recover quickly and channel its energy into strong, healthy, new growth. Pruning too early risks frost damage, while waiting too long can stunt that early surge of growth. The goal is to catch the plant as it awakens from dormancy, ready to burst forth with vigor. Begin by removing any dead, damaged, or diseased wood. These stems often look shriveled or blackened. Clearing away this old growth not only tidies up the plant, but also helps prevent the spread of disease and pests that can linger over winter. Next, eliminate crossing branches to prevent wounds and future problems. Branches that rub together can create entry points for disease, so thinning them out is essential for long-term health. Remove the weaker of the two, always cutting back to healthy wood. This encourages the plant to direct its energy into the strongest, healthiest canes, resulting in more robust blooms. Open up the center of the plant to allow air and light to circulate freely. Good airflow is one of the best defenses against fungal diseases, and sunlight reaching the inner branches helps every part of the plant thrive. This helps keep fungal diseases at bay and encourages each stem to reach its full potential. A well-pruned rose is less likely to suffer from black spot or powdery mildew, and will reward you with healthier foliage and more abundant flowers. Picture a wine goblet, the stems radiating outwards, uncluttered in the middle. This classic shape is not just for looks, it's the secret to a balanced, productive rose bush. Angle your cuts just above an outward-facing bud, so new growth is directed away from the center. This technique encourages a graceful, open habit and prevents overcrowding as the season progresses. Use sharp, clean secateurs for these cuts. Clean tools make precise cuts that heal quickly, reducing the risk of infection and giving your roses the best possible start. Don't be afraid to cut hard if you have an older or neglected rose. They're remarkably resilient. A bold prune can rejuvenate even the most tired-looking plant, sparking a flush of vigorous new shoots. For younger plants, focus on shaping rather than reducing size. Gentle pruning helps establish a strong framework for future years, setting the foundation for a healthy, beautiful rose. Strip off any remaining old foliage to prevent pests or disease. Old leaves can harbor overwintering insects and fungal spores, so removing them gives your roses a clean slate. Stand back after each cut and assess the plant from all angles. This helps you spot any missed branches and ensures a balanced, attractive shape that will look good from every viewpoint. Hybrid teas tolerate harder pruning, while climbers and ramblers need a lighter touch, just thinning and shaping. Each type of rose has its own needs, so take a moment to consider the variety you're working with before you begin. Always look for vibrant, healthy buds as your guide. These are the points from which the strongest new growth will emerge, promising a spectacular display later in the season. Pruning roses in April is a conversation with the plant, helping it find its best shape and strength for the coming season. It's a chance to connect with your garden, to shape its future, and to anticipate the beauty that's just around the corner. The reward is a flush of blooms that will delight you for months to come. With each careful cut, you're not just tending a plant, you're nurturing a living masterpiece that will fill your garden with color, fragrance, and joy all summer long. Buddleja, commonly known as butterfly bush, is a true magnet for pollinators, drawing in clouds of butterflies, bees, and other beneficial insects with its fragrant nectar-rich blooms. If you want to create a vibrant, wildlife-friendly garden, This is one shrub you simply can't overlook. April is the perfect time to act, just as new growth is stirring at the base of the plant. As the days lengthen and temperatures rise, you'll notice fresh green shoots pushing through the soil, signaling that the plant is ready to burst into life. Don't be alarmed by a hard prune. Buddleja responds with astonishing vigor. In fact, it's one of the few shrubs that truly thrives on being cut back hard each year, rewarding you with even more impressive growth and flowers. Cut back last year's growth hard, leaving just 30 to 60 centimeters above ground. This may seem drastic, but it's exactly what the plant needs to channel its energy into producing strong, new stems. This encourages strong, straight stems that will bear the biggest, most spectacular flower spikes in summer. The more robust the stems, the more abundant and showy the blooms will be. Remove any thin, spindly, or old stems that won't produce impressive blooms. These weaker stems can sap energy from the plant and reduce the overall quality of the display. If the center is congested, thin out a few of the oldest stems at the base. This opens up the bush, allowing light and air to reach the center, which helps prevent disease and encourages healthy new growth. Use loppers or a pruning saw for thicker wood, and secateurs for thinner stems. Having the right tools makes the job easier and ensures clean cuts that heal quickly. Make each cut just above a strong pair of outward-facing buds. This encourages the new shoots to grow outwards, creating a well-shaped open bush that's both attractive and healthy. As you prune, shape the bush so it's open in the middle, with strong stems radiating outwards like the spokes of a wheel. This classic vase shape not only looks elegant but also maximizes sunlight and airflow. Don't be afraid to remove up to 2/3 of last year's growth. Buddleja is incredibly forgiving. In fact, this bold approach is the secret to keeping your butterfly bush youthful and productive year after year. Remove any dead wood at the base to clear the way for new shoots. Clearing out old material gives the plant space to regenerate and helps prevent pests and diseases from taking hold. Buddleja thrives on renewal, and this annual hard cut is the secret to its longevity. Each spring, you're giving your plant a fresh start, setting the stage for a season of lush growth and dazzling flowers. When finished, mulch generously with well-rotted compost or manure to feed the roots and lock in moisture. This extra boost of nutrients will help your Buddleja recover quickly and fuel its vigorous summer growth. By summer, you'll be rewarded with a cascade of nectar-rich flowers in shades of purple, pink, or white, depending on your variety. These blooms will be irresistible to butterflies and bees alike. Your garden will come alive with butterflies and bees, creating a lively, colorful scene that's a joy to watch and a boon for local wildlife. Pruning now ensures a spectacular summer display, making your garden a true haven for pollinators and a highlight of the season. Hydrangea paniculata is a standout in the late summer garden, its large conical blooms lighting up borders and beds. These hydrangeas flower on new wood, so spring pruning is essential. April is the ideal window, as the sap is rising and the plant is ready to respond with energy. Cut each stem back to a healthy pair of strong buds, about 1/3 of last year's growth. This focuses the plant's energy into fewer but much larger and stronger flower heads. Don't worry if the cuts seem drastic. Hydrangea paniculata is robust and appreciates a firm hand. Avoid cutting right back to the base. Leave a framework of woody stems to support new shoots. Remove any weak, spindly, or dead stems first. Look for a balanced, open framework with strong, evenly spaced stems. Don't leave too many stems. Crowding leads to smaller flowers and poor air circulation. Mulch around the base with compost or leaf mold after pruning. This helps retain moisture and provides nutrients for rapid growth. Paniculatas are hardy and will bounce back even from a late frost. With this simple spring prune, you'll enjoy spectacular flower heads well into autumn. Lavender is beloved for its scent, silvery foliage, and ability to summon bees to the garden. April is the time for a tidy-up, not a hard prune. Remove dead stems and lightly shape the plant for a neat, bushy habit. Gently tease out dead material, or snip away brittle stems with sharp secateurs. Avoid cutting into old, woody growth. Lavender struggles to regenerate from it. Always leave a good collar of green shoots on each stem. Shape the plant into a rounded dome to prevent splitting as it grows. Trim back any sprawling stems to maintain a compact outline. Don't remove too much at once. Rejuvenate leggy plants gradually over a few seasons. After pruning, Clear away all cut material and give the plant a light feed with a high potash fertilizer. This supports flowering and gives the plant a boost as the days grow warmer. Lavender responds beautifully to this spring refresh, putting out a flush of new shoots. By tidying now, you'll enjoy a bushier, healthier plant that's a magnet for pollinators. Apple trees are a treasure in any garden, providing a burst of delicate blossom in spring that signals the start of the growing season. Their beauty and promise of fruit make them a centerpiece for gardeners and wildlife alike. As the months pass, those blossoms transform into crisp apples, offering a rewarding harvest in autumn that's both delicious and satisfying. While most structural pruning is done in winter when the tree is dormant, April is the time for a lighter touch. As the tree comes into leaf, focus on removing any dead, damaged, or crossing branches that could hinder healthy growth or airflow. Stand back and view the whole tree from different angles to identify problem branches. This broader perspective helps you spot issues that might be missed up close. Remove rubbing, crowded or winter-damaged branches with sharp secateurs or loppers. This not only tidies the tree but also prevents wounds that could invite disease. Always cut back to a healthy bud or branch, making clean, angled cuts to encourage quick healing and strong regrowth. Avoid leaving stubs, as these can become entry points for pests. Good airflow is vital for apple trees. Thinning congested areas reduces the risk of fungal diseases and improves fruit quality by allowing sunlight to reach developing apples. Remove any suckers from below the graft or base, as well as water shoots, those straight, vertical growths that sap energy from the main tree. These can quickly take over if left unchecked. April's light prune is also a chance to check for pests or disease. Look for cankers, dieback, or woolly aphid. Early detection means you can act before problems spread. For older or neglected trees, save major pruning for winter. Focus on gentle shaping now to avoid stressing the tree as it wakes up for the season. Avoid stimulating too much soft growth, which can be vulnerable to late frosts, and may not harden off in time. A balanced approach keeps your tree resilient. Finish by mulching with well-rotted manure or compost around the base, keeping it clear of the trunk to prevent rot and discourage pests. This feeds the roots, helps retain moisture as the growing season gets underway, and suppresses weeds that compete for nutrients. By tending to your apple tree in April, you set it up for a year of healthy growth, resilience against pests and disease, and a rewarding harvest come autumn. Each light prune is a step toward a more beautiful, productive tree, shaping its future with every careful cut. A little attention now pays off in a canopy of blossoms and a bounty of fruit later in the year. Enjoy the process and the promise of a fruitful season. Your apple tree will thank you with beauty and abundance. Before you head out, always use sharp, clean tools for every pruning job. Dull blades can crush stems, leaving ragged wounds that heal slowly and invite disease. Clean your tools between plants, especially after removing diseased material, to keep your garden healthy. Use secateurs for fine cuts, loppers, or a pruning saw for thicker branches. Matching your tool to the job ensures clean cuts and happy plants. Pruning in April gives your garden the best possible start for the season ahead. Until next time, happy pruning, and may your garden bloom brighter than ever.